Hi everyone, I'm Joyce Strong, host of the Totally Well Show. Before we begin, I want to give a big thank you to my mentor, coach, and sponsor of the Totally Well Show, David Meltzer. David is the host of the #1 entrepreneur podcast, The Playbook, a top 100 business coach, author of the #1 new release, Game Time Decision Making, and was named Sports Humanitarian of the Year by Variety. But he prefers to be known as the CEO who goes around helping people. Learn more about David Meltzer at www.dmeltzer.com and text him at 949-298-2905 to get notified when he is in your area hosting a meetup. Follow him on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter at David Meltzer. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Totally Well Show. Hello everyone, welcome to the Totally Well Show. I'm your host, Joyce Strong. The Totally Well Show is a place where we get curious, ask questions, and explore everything to do with health, wellness, fitness, and all the things it takes to help you live the highest quality, most fulfilling life. I want to remind you that we are looking for sponsorship here at the Totally Well Show and the Groton Channel. In fact, all of our shows are looking for ways to help bring in some extra money for us to be able to continue to give you these great productions. And but we're not doing it without giving something back, and there's definitely advantage for you to be mentioned on our show in the show itself, with me mentioning your name, and also in the credits before and after. So think about it. Get in touch with thegrotonchannel.org or get in touch with me, and we'll tell you all the different ways that we can make a deal. And I have a third time return guest, Alan Lazarus from the Hyper Conscious podcast and one of the admins for the Hyper Conscious Nation, right? Yep. On Facebook, a private Facebook group, which if you are hyper conscious or hoping to be, then you can join, request to join. And if you know me, you can ask me and I can add you in. So
thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Oh,
again.
It's my pleasure, my pleasure. Also, you probably have seen Alan if you've been to the Confident Women Consortium, because he was our last speaker along with Kevin Palmieri, and he is now a national level speaker, right? Have you spoken internationally yet? Yeah, you have, haven't you?
I mean, I went to Canada recently, so.
Yeah, okay. So an international speaker. And so if you're looking for somebody to do speaking engagements on coaching or personal development, lifestyle design, any of those things, this is your guy.
Well, thank you.
So, so today we had a plan to talk about lifestyle design and some formulas or some success paradigms to achieve the goals that we want.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I need to tell you this. Okay. You've been motivating me.
I have.
Don't I look good?
You do. I thought that when I first saw you.
Yeah. I'm changing it up.
You're killing it.
Yeah, you're motivating me. So.
You've been doing weight training.
Yeah, I've been more consistent with my habits.
Nice. Since the Confident Women's Consortium?
Since the Confident Women in your talk, and you were like, if you want this, you have to want this. Yeah. And it sucks. Sorry. And it's hard.
Yeah, and it's hard, exactly. Yeah.
So I want to
That makes me the happiest, by the way.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That's
You
awesome.
motivated me for sure. You got me going. You got me, I was going off the rails a little.
You're looking super fit. You are looking fit.
I'm feeling better.
Good.
Feeling stronger. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And really remembering the messages you said. But I want to share today with our viewers some of your lifestyle design techniques.
Principles,
Principles,
techniques, yeah, totally. Okay, so lifestyle design. Rather than just some label, what is lifestyle design? So.
And by the way, you're an engineer.
Yeah. Yeah, I was electrical and computer engineering. So yeah, this will probably get a little technical.
You have that way of looking at things with the words like reverse engineering and I think engineers, by the way, are our next level doctors.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the word design, right? So you've watched TED Talks, technology, education, and design.
Yeah.
So the designed life. That's like one of the things I'm most passionate about. So what is the designed life? There's this poem by Chief Tecumseh that basically says, perfect your life, design your life, beautify all things in your life, and make your life in the service of your people. And to me, that encapsulates what all of our goals should be. So I picture a pyramid, and at the bottom, I do this with my clients, at the bottom is your core values. I have a flashcard in my pocket with my 6 core values that are most fundamental to me. And then I have a pyramid, and at the top is a true north. So this is the necklace that I normally wear. It's a North Star, and it's the brightest star in the sky, and it's unwavering, it's constant, it's a guide. For me, that's your mission, that's your dream, to serve something greater than itself. So I would encourage everyone out there right now to think of something, a person, place, or thing that changed your life. That person, most likely, place, or thing, was the result of someone's dream. So the example I use with lifestyle design is this. So back in 2013, I don't know if you know this about me, but I drove to LA. I had dreams and aspirations to be an actor and to work in show business.
I did not know this.
You didn't know this?
No.
Okay, so this will be interesting.
Oh, but before you tell me that story,
Can
I see your flashcard?
Yes, of course you can.
I'd like to. Does he really have a flashcard in his pocket that has his core values?
So I have a lot.
I want to see the core values.
My deck of cards.
God. This dude's for real.
You're the first person to ask me this ever. Core values. Core values, that's the one.
Will you, I'll read them.
Okay.
But then I got to go back to the trip to LA.
Okay.
Legacy, that's your word.
Yep.
Undying self-belief. Natural health and fitness. Personal development. Desired growth to achieve massive, he crossed out big and wrote massive, dreams, congruent with one's purpose and core values, highest core values. A giving heart, humility, and action. All 6 must come from a genuine desire to serve. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. It's real. He wasn't making it up.
No, of course not. So do you want me to go back to the LA?
I do.
The LA thing?
Yeah, because
You're
I
the
never
first person
heard
to
this.
ask me to do that.
Yeah.
Ever. That's awesome.
I knew they were there, but I just had to. I was like, see this.
So yeah, those are my 6.
Yeah.
But I encourage everyone to. So the bottom of the pyramid is know thyself. To metnosce. It's a Latin term. How well do you know yourself?
Yeah.
For me, those are my 6 foundational core values. When I fall out of the sky and it's me alone in a dark room upset, that's what I go back to.
Okay.
And then I see my true north. So I have a purpose prayer that I say every single day. I said it in the shower this morning that I don't really share publicly, but it's basically my reminder to myself of my purpose and my mission. And if you take your day-to-day life, which is technically how you design your day-to-day life, you have your core values, living congruent with them at the bottom of the pyramid, and then you have your true north. Your day-to-day life needs to be designed in accordance with your highest core values and your mission. So to get back to LA, this is my point. So we drove across the country, my friend Ryan Moore. He's actually still out in LA trying to be an actor, voiceover actor. And back in 2013, our goal was to get to Studio City in 5 days. And we drove across the country. We stopped in Columbus, Ohio, Denver, Colorado. We drove through the Rockies. We stopped in Vegas, obviously. And the reason why I'm saying this right now is because, first of all, if anyone has not driven across this country, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. It was amazing. But here's the thing. People say it's about the journey, and I agree. But the destination will dictate the journey. In other words, I always think to myself, like, why did we drive across the country? Our dreams. My dream to be in show business, his dream to be an actor, brought us on that epic journey that I now will always remember. There was this beautiful town in a lake surrounded by mountains in the Rockies that was the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life. And we had an epic journey. It was wonderful. We saw all these new places. And I realized, like, it is about the journey, but it's the destination you choose in advance that dictates the journey. Now, you can take the southern route, you can take the middle route, or you can take the northern route, and that's your choice. But Lifestyle design to me is choosing in advance who you aspire to be, and then that's going to force you on to embark on an epic journey. Our relationship, you and I right now, this moment is a byproduct of my dreams and my mission. And if people understood that, the greatest friendships I have, the greatest relationships I have, the things I've learned, the fears I've had to overcome, the skills I've had to develop, are all a byproduct of my desire to serve something greater than myself. And that to me is like everything. And I know some people don't have anything plugged into the GPS. And it upsets
those expressions, me. I love them. You should have a whole book on just like these expressions that use that. What is it? Like a label, sort of, for much deeper. You know, it's a picture. It's a word picture.
What?
When you say plugged into the GPS, like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just with a couple of words you've painted a picture of what that means. So does the GPS coordinates change?
Yes.
Because I didn't know about this trip and that you aspired to be an actor.
Yeah, at one point I wanted to work in show business.
Do you
not
still?
Necessarily as an actor. So I do think that's still in my future, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. I actually got cast recently for something that is not congruent with my core values that I actually can't talk about. But let's just say reality TV is not for me. But yeah, I do think show business will still be in my future. But the thing is the decisions we make on the day-to-day are what create us, right? We're all a byproduct of our choices. But if you don't have a destination in mind, even though it can shift, your decision-making paradigm will always be predicated on the now, and you might not end up somewhere wonderful. So for example, the podcast with Kevin. He had a dream to be a podcaster like Joe Rogan. I had a dream to serve the world similar to the way Tony Robbins does as a public speaker. That relationship is quite literally a byproduct of our dreams. And some people don't have dreams or they haven't decided to really chase them. And to me, that's what I want. I want to inject belief into people to believe in their own brighter future and to work toward it, because I think that all the things we think we want are actually a byproduct of that.
So I think of it as vision. Is that really creating a crystal clear vision of? I used to do this. I don't do it all the time with clients. I don't know why, but maybe should get back to it. Of really taking an hour, taking a chunk of time, and darken the room, close your eyes, whatever it takes to really paint that picture of where you're going, what it looks like, what it feels like.
Right. That's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a vision board in my room that I
remember when you redid it.
I redid it. Yeah, I needed to. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Your dreams and goals will evolve as you do.
Yeah.
But you won't grow and evolve much unless you have dreams.
Yeah.
So you can start small and build if you want. But I'm a firm believer of choosing in advance the person you want to be.
So when you crossed out big and wrote massive, what was that about?
That's a great question. I think that.
Well, give me an example. What was big?
What's a massive dream I have?
What was the big dream, and then how did it shift to massive?
So I want to change a billion lives.
This is vulnerability.
I think it changed to massive because.
No, I want the example. I want you to tell me the big dream, and then I want you to tell me the one that is even hard to. It scares you.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. The big dream would be to be an excellent public speaker. The massive dream would be to change 1 billion lives. And that can be daunting. I think that's one of the reasons most people don't have dreams. Because if you do have a big dream that you're chasing, it's a lot of pressure. You can't just wake up and wing it. But that's also why it forces you to design your life.
Yeah.
And Dave Meltzer talks about being a student of your calendar. Everything on my calendar is leading me closer to my mission. It's congruent with my core values.
Take me to that massive dream of changing how many lives?
1 billion.
1 billion lives.
1 billion lives.
How scary is that? Like you're on this mountain
Right.
of successful people, and you're like at the top with this capacity.
What scares me most about that, to be open and honest here, is here's one of the other reasons why I think people don't have dreams, and this is the scariest part for me. When you have huge dreams, the people who don't will usually be filtered out. I'll give you an example. So I want to be, quote unquote, the greatest natural aesthetic men's physique fitness model on the planet. I'll never actually know if I am the best. It doesn't matter. The point is I know that that's something I love and I want to master it. All of a sudden, going to barbecues and drinking beer can't happen if I want that dream.
Right.
So all the people that go to barbecues and drink beer, I now have one less thing in common with.
Right.
So one of my biggest fears about trying to change 1 billion lives or being the greatest professional speaker is losing common denominators with people I love. And that's been the hardest thing for me. That's my growing pains, is I no longer can relate as much to people who don't have huge dreams.
I've heard you talk about this before when you were at Shauna Pelton's talk at Confident Women, and you went there, but I didn't quite get it like I get it right now. And it seems that in growth there's inevitable letting go and loss and some sadness.
Yes. Sacrifice for something greater, something that you believe is greater. I don't want people to think that you have to cut everyone out of your life or anything like that, but there will be less in common. I mean, for some people who don't have a well-designed life, who maybe haven't been hyper-conscious, and I've been there, so I have nothing but empathy for that, you're not going to have as much in common. I mean, Kevin and I did an episode last night on mindset, and we talked about a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. And it was a real moment for me, because for me, mindset is that was 4 years ago when I started to figure a lot of that out. And circling back and going, oh my God, some people still think that things are just the way they are. Like,
unchangeable, you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Like you're just born this way and that's just it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not, it's like the horse who's like a little horse in like a 4-foot fence, and it tries to jump out and it hurts itself, and it tries and it tries and it tries and it can't. And then now it's a huge stallion, and it could easily jump out and be free, but it doesn't, because it's conditioned.
Yeah. Oh, what a great meme.
Right. I know. And that's how, unfortunately, I see a lot of people living.
Yeah.
And it hurts. It bothers me.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, those are the people who attack people like me, because they who do you think you are, and all that. So.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So so the pain is real.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. It's the far more challenging road, but I think it's far more rewarding. You know.
I think Dave Meltzer taught me this as well, amongst other people, but he says it so often and so well, where there's trust in the universe, the greater energies out there, and how it takes that faith piece to create the void.
Yeah.
You know, so letting go of something or just creating some kind of a void, and just knowing something's going to fill it, but you have no idea yet what that is or what that's really going to look like. And
is it going to be better or worse? Or
yeah.
It's scary.
And
it's
just
so scary.
having to just put the faith out that you know it's going to be better.
I think making difficult decisions is the most challenging aspect of all of this. We talked in a little bit before the show, before we were recording, about like there's the courageous thing to do, and then there's the stay where you are and stay who you are. And we can talk about it, but when you're in it and you have no idea what the right choices, and you have to have faith in what you can't see yet, and that it'll all work out. Kimberly Spencer, one of my strongest allies, who I've learned so much from. She's incredible. She's an amazing coach too, high performance coach. She said that when you're on the beach and you're in the sand near the water, your footprint puts an indent in the sand. You have to trust that when your footprint leaves, that the sand will fill, the water will fill in with something new. And you have to trust that when you make a decision to cut away from something old, something that no longer serves your greatest level of contribution, you have to trust that something more appropriate will fill that. And that's one of the hardest things to do, especially when it comes to matters of the heart, when it comes to like love and people you care deeply for. That's the hardest part of this, in my opinion. Yeah.
Wow. So in the lifestyle design, there's the understanding value.
Yeah.
Dr. DeMartini, John DeMartini, I think his name is, talks about this.
Okay.
Like critical that you have to understand your value system.
Yeah.
And if you don't, if that's out of whack, whatever you're doing is representing your true values. So,
Right.
so having that, and then creating the crystal clear vision or GPS coordinates.
Right.
Then what?
Then it's designing your system of success.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite parts. This is what I do with all my clients.
This is
So
where I want to dig in.
I have my daily dozen.
And by the way, we're going to have about 6 minutes to cover the rest of this.
Okay, yeah, thank you for letting me know. All right, so I have a flashcard in my pocket where every day I go over my critical numbers. I have 17 of them. I check in with several things. One of them is intimacy. One of them is friendships and family. That's one, friends/family. One of them is my dream team.
Yeah.
One of them is my mentors. One of them is my mission. And then my weight.
Yeah.
So I track those from 0 to 10, other than my weight, obviously. But I basically make sure that all the things I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, to me, mastery is the following quote. Can I consistently and sustainably produce the outcomes that I want to produce and enjoy the process? And so lifestyle design is a process. You have to consistently figure out, okay, I'm going to explore this. Oh, that doesn't fit. I'm going to explore this. This definitely fits. And then you refocus back in on the essentials every time you explore, and then you refocus, and then you explore and you refocus. And so for me, I have my daily dozen, which is things that I do every single day. And then I have my flashcard where I track my critical numbers to make sure I'm on track. And then I have my calendar. This may sound overwhelming to someone out there, but remember, I started this process 4 years ago. You should see my first flashcard.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And it really ties into the power of habit, the piece where you said, and enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
That's so, so important.
Right. I could work on that one.
Yeah.
I'm always like going. But I really I do love my life so much.
Yeah.
Like, it's very well designed. When you travel, you realize how well designed your life is, because travel is a whole thing.
Yeah.
And you don't have your home base.
Well, that's another thing Dave did a whole thing on with
Right. Travel habits versus
Schedule A, Schedule B.
Right.
Yeah.
That's such good advice.
Yeah.
Traveling is humbling, especially with fitness, because you.
Well, I have a feeling you're going to be learning more about that very soon.
Yeah, I
with
hope
all
so.
your speaking through the nation, all the places, and definitely with some of these international hookups you've got now to be able to travel out to other parts of the world.
Things are rolling.
Things are rolling. Yeah.
One funny thing is that I want to say about lifestyle design and having big dreams. It says dream big right on here.
Yeah.
it.
Take a chance, dream big.
Love
Always
it.
shine bright.
Love freely. so good. That was one of the first things I noticed when I got here. One of the things I wanted to mention is what was once. So we're doing an event in Florida on September 7th where I'm speaking on stage with these incredible world-renowned entrepreneurs and speakers. And that was at one point just a dream.
Yeah.
But what was once my greatest dream is now my greatest challenge. And this is why I think most people don't have dreams, because it's really hard.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I want to tell everybody. It's not easy. It
Yeah.
totally sucks sometimes, but that's okay, and it's worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because not having dreams, if you don't chase your dreams with passion, you're probably gonna regret it. You're never gonna regret the things that you tried and failed at. You're gonna regret the things you never even tried. And you and I both know that because we've been in near-death experiences where we had to really ask ourselves, like, did I live fully? Did I love fully? Did I chase my dreams courageously? And we didn't like our answers in some cases. So if you're out there, step up your dreams is my challenge to you.
Bring Band-Aids.
Yeah, right. And definitely bring Band-Aids. Yeah, and bring allies that love you, even at your worst moments. Like Joyce.
Yeah. So the having the GPS, having the core values, the destination, and then the habits, checking in, and some tools. So you've mentioned some specific tools.
Yep.
What are some of the, if you're coaching with people and you're trying, somebody's just, the switch flipped for them and they're finally ready to make the decision to design their life, where could somebody start? We just have about a minute left, so maybe we can just settle up, wrap up with this. What if you had to pick 3 or 4 musts to get rolling, just to get started, to build momentum?
Yeah, a few musts. The first must is deciding in advance who you want to be. The second must is getting a mentor or a coach whose micro is your desired macro. In other words, their day-to-day life is already your dream. David Meltzer, living my dream. So I can learn from him because he knows all the cheat codes. He's already done it. He's doing it. And he's doing it very well.
Yeah.
Okay? So first is deciding in advance who you want to be, then getting a coach or mentor who's already there. Third thing, feed your mind every single day. So physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Fill your cup first. First thing in the morning, I do what's called my sacred 3. Normally, I didn't today because I had this in the morning, but normally I don't schedule anything in the morning. So my sacred 3 is 3 hours for me every single day. First thing in the morning.
Yeah.
No one can get a hold of me.
Yeah.
I can reach out to them, but almost no one can get a hold of me. So I wake up in the morning and I listen to this motivational video called Ode to Excellence while I foam roll. So I'm physically filling my cup and I'm mentally filling my cup, and emotionally too, because it's a super emotional video.
Yeah.
And then spiritually, I say my purpose prayer.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm a full cup.
Yeah.
And then I go out into the day and I serve from a full cup.
Yeah.
So that's the other must.
Yeah. Well, that's a great way to wrap up. And again, if you want to learn more about Hyperconscious Nation, thehyperconsciouspodcast.com, reach out to Alan there. And thanks again for filling me with your wisdom and your high energy and your massive dreams.
Thank you so much.
So,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.